Now, back to Australia and some media sponsorship issues. Pat Cummins, we all know he went sort of full climate warrior thing, which didn't really work with Cricket Australia's Alinta Energy sponsorship. The ramifications of this are going to be ongoing for a lot of sports and a lot of sponsors.
Oh, look, Chris, I mean, seriously, Pat Cummins, the guy who drives a guzzling four-wheel drive, is preaching to the Australian public about being climate warriors. I mean, what a hypocrite. But this is the problem sporting codes have now. No wonder sponsors are really nervous about taking this on because of the activism from these athletes. This has become a problem. It was discussed at a conference I was at last week in Melbourne with executives across the media and sporting landscape from around Australia and around the world, but sponsors are gun-shy now. They're nervous. This report in The Australian is saying they're concerned about the ramifications if they do align with the sporting code and what the athletes who oppose this particular company, whether it be energy, will do.
I actually saw Pat Cummins outside a cafe the other day. I didn't want to interrupt him, even though my 11-year-old is a mad keen cricketer. But yes, you're right. He stepped into a big gas-guzzling four-wheel drive. I don't know whether it was petrol or diesel, but it certainly wasn't a Tesla. Now, bring us up to date with the ABC. It seems to me like they're going to pocket 11% plus a $1,500 sign-on bonus, but they're going to have to get rid of jobs now to pay for it.
Well, that's right, Chris. So they've got to put their final workplace agreement, I guess, to the vote of the staff. So it looks like they are going to get an 11% pay rise. Good luck to them. I mean, most media outlets certainly can't be offering that. And so this is going to be put to a vote most likely next week. But it appears that they will be cutting jobs too. So there's quite a bit going on at the public broadcaster. But remember, Chris, these are the staff that did not suffer during the pandemic. They didn't have their wages impacted. And that was the beauty of working for the ABC. No pain was felt, and they were a COVID cheer squad for the lockdowns.
And Laura Tingle onto the board?
Yes, Chris, so she's been appointed to the board. She only won this vote on preferences. Dan Ziffer, business journalist, was 40-odd votes ahead of her, but Laura won on preferences. She's got the backing of high-profile journalists, including Michael Rowland and Louise Milligan. So watch this space. It'll be very interesting to see how this plays out, Chris, when she starts her role in the next month or so.
Well, you know, she's the favourite vessel of Paul Keating when he wants to address the nation. She's bagged the coalition time and time again. She gets extra money, though. She won't need the pay rise because she's getting a board member's salary, right?
It's about 60 grand, Chris, so it's not to be sneezed at, but look, Laura can be a polarising figure. People were quite critical of her, treatment of the journalists or lack of intervention when Paul Keating was really quite appalling to some journalists, right. Particularly female journalists.
Yes, indeed.
And the feminism, the sisterhood, they didn't stand up. Typical. They only stand up when it's their own sort of, on the left, supposedly, that there's a particular type of woman they stick up for, and it's certainly not people who work for News Corp, Chris.
Absolutely. As you well know, Sophie Elsworth, thanks so much for joining us.